YouTube, what's up guys? Hey, hope everyone's having a great day today. We're working on the Lotus Elise Turbo again. Why? Because the front end is done. It's been painted. It looks amazing. I have pictures of it. I haven't picked it up yet. We will do a video of me picking it up and then a video of me installing it. But before we do that, we need to get ready for it. So the front end needs to get ready. So let's go ahead and jump on the front end of the Lotus since the front end clam is removed. What are we doing today? So on this clam, not clam, but front end, my car, the guy bumped into the guardrail. He damaged a little bit of this and that was about it. As you guys can see, there's some fiberglass that's been sticking out over here, and typically it looks like this side of fiberglass. So that's normal, that's not normal. So I'm gonna make that as best as possible as I can to look back to where it was originally. In addition, I have my sanding block because we're gonna be doing some sanding today. We're gonna be sanding this whole thing right here. We're gonna sand it really pretty rough to get a really good adhesive, and then we're gonna paint all that black. So it looks really nice. We're gonna do it all black. Why am I doing this? Because the EXIGE clam sits like right up here flush with this, and I don't want any of this green showing. Now, one of the things that I said I might do was replace the radiator on the front. People were saying to do that, but since this car only has 6,000 or 7,000 miles on it, I'm gonna run it for a long time. I heard that the plastic gets brittle and breaks, but this car's been in the garage its entire life. So what I need to do are those things. In addition, we also need to remove the OEM Elise hinge covers. Why are these called hinge covers? Because there's a hinge and it covers them. That's why they're called that. So I'm gonna show you guys how to remove those, and then we're gonna paint that, make this look perfect. And then the next video for the Lotus, we will be picking up the front end clam. EXIGE front end clam, access panels, EXIGE hinge covers. It's gonna look amazing. It's painted in Starlight Black. I got my headlights, as you guys saw. The car will be ready. So we're gonna put some wheels on it and drive it, and I'm gonna be super happy. Once we get that all done, I'll start working a little bit more on the interior, putting it back together, installing the radio, doing some carbon rock fiber with it, changing the oil and doing some more motor works, but the car will be drivable then and will be perfect. I do think I am gonna put a clear bra on it to protect it because it's black and I don't want rock chips. But first and foremost, let's go ahead and get this fixed. Okay, I'm gonna lay this. This is hilarious. This is a yoga mat, and I use the yoga mat to when I work on cars. You gotta be resourceful, guys. Anyways, I don't do yoga, this by the way. So we're gonna do is sand all this down. I'm even gonna sand in here and wipe all that down because I want to paint it black as well. Once we get it all sanded down, then I'll mask it off. All right, so I did some sanding there, light sanding. I'm gonna go over it again. This fiberglass right here, it's not carbon fiber. I think someone said it's carbon fiber, but to me it looks like it's fiberglass. Yeah, it's fiberglass. Anywho, what we're gonna do is, there's a bunch of these singed off little things right here, or these extra fiberglass. You guys can see I did it right here. I'm actually gonna burn this like that, and I'm gonna just burn it all off and make it look flush. All right, so that looks a lot better in my opinion. I clipped some of it off, I burnt some of it off, it looks better, and then I'm gonna go over it with some black paint. It's just fiberglass. This whole car is pretty much fiberglass. And you can just cut the extra bits off. This will be covered by the clam, so I don't think it'll be that big of a deal. You won't be able to see it. You might be able to see just a little bit right here, just this little part right there. So I'm gonna make sure I put extra paint to cover all this. I'm gonna wipe it down with one of my microfibers and then get ready to. All right, so I think a good idea to start, to make it look all black, is to start here and then work my way down and then start the green. I'm not gonna be masking any of these wires. I just don't think I really need to. All this will be covered underneath the clam, and I really like the black paint. It's an enamel paint too. I like enamel, it's really heavy. So we'll shake it up and we'll just start. We'll start here and then work our way down. I might wanna mask the clips though. I don't want any paint in the clips, so let's go ahead and do that. All right, we'll just start here. This is gonna look really good when it's done. I put one of my microfibers to cover the radiator right there. So I think I'm gonna leave the radiator chrome It'll be very, very visible, but I'll do all this black. So now that I covered this, we're just gonna start going here and shoot this and then shoot that. I'll move some of my clips out of the way. I don't mind if I get this right here because this is covered, but I do want I want this shroud black. This right here, I want that black, I want this all black. I think that'll look good. So let's go ahead and start doing that. I like to take about 6 inches away after I primed the surface, and I just did sanding. I didn't do a primer. This is just enamel paint. Enamel paint's thick. It's a good stuff. So let's go ahead and do it right here. Oh my gosh, that looks so much better. That was just the first coat. This enamel is thick stuff. I like it a lot. We're gonna do one more coat. I'll let it dry for about 30 minutes to an hour. So we'll let it dry for a while. This thick enamel paint, it takes a while to dry. But that looks so much better when it's like that. I'm really, really excited that I did that. And I think it'll actually make the radiator look really good with it being silver, and there's some silver accents on the car. So I think that'll be pretty good. That being said, let's let this dry. While that's drying, we're gonna go ahead and pull off these axis or hinge cover panels over here, the Lotus Elise one. All right, while the front end is drying, I was working on removing this. I like this project. Why? Because I had two 10mm bolts. Yours truly loves 10 millimeters, which, interesting enough, I don't find too much of on this Lotus. I did 2 of those underneath here. I did lefty loosey on those 2, and then I pulled on this a little bit, and it seemed to pop out, and a lot of rocks came out. So I'm not sure if I just keep on wiggling on it and it'll come loose. Let's actually open up the door. I don't want to tug anything up. So I just cleaned that lower part up. That's pretty cool. It's actually paint matched. This whole thing is painted to the car color, and you can see they glue it on here. That's crazy. Here is my original one right here. Here's all the stuff look at all this stuff. I'm gonna have to go dump all that outside and then clean this. So there was 3 bolts on it for this one. There's a 10mm, 10mm, and then another 10mm. And that 10mm, I actually had to open the door, and it's actually located right there. So there was these little plugs that covered it, and then you did lefty loosey on those little Phillip head, and then it revealed that bolt, which was a 10mm, and I did lefty loosey on that, which then allowed that one to come out, and then we'll be done with that. So that's actually a super easy 3-bolt thing to do that. So that was not hard at all. Let's go ahead and do it on the other side. Bam, that is so much better. Wow, what a huge difference. Look how shiny that is in there. That's gonna look so good. I'm gonna let it dry overnight. I love the enamel paint. Enamel paint's heavy, so it really, really stays on there. It'll look really nice, especially since the car is Starlight Black, that there's no more brown or anything like that. I know that the radiator has some scuffs on it right there. It came that way, which is not the most aesthetic thing ever, but that's okay. But if you guys remember before I shot all this is like a different color right here that looked really bad. It's all brown and ugly. And I even shot this, which I think that looks really good. I think that has to do with the steering rack or clutch. I'm not sure what this is. The steering rack? Yeah, I think that has to do with the steering rack. But that looks a lot better. I like that a lot. I didn't paint this. I don't really recommend painting plastic things such as that are see-through, that you need to see through them. It actually looks really good. That's actually the only thing that really sticks out is that reservoir. So the rest looks really, really good in my opinion. I think that is a big transformation, and I'm really happy I did it. I'm so happy that I got this car instead of one car that was just completely done already. I love these little fixes that I have to do on here. It is awesome. Now, that being said, I'm glad this car is turboed, because that'd be a very expensive buy without a turbo on there to get a turbo kit. So I'm really happy it's turboed. Both those hinge covers, or yeah, hinge cover panels are off, as you guys can see here. I shined it up a little bit, but I should wipe it down some more. But both the hinge covers are off right there, as you guys can see. So they're ready for the EXIGE ones, which I have a feeling the EXIGE will just bolt up perfectly, since this is the same chassis as an EXIGE. So I have a feeling it'll just be an easy swap, the same bolts, which will be nice. That'll be just a direct swap like that. I also did clean this side as well. So the Lotus is really coming along. I honestly feel At this point in time, I honestly feel that I'm ready to go pick up the front end. So it's done from paint, so that'll probably be the next video. If I don't do a CELICA video or something like that, this will probably be the next video for the Lotus, is me going and picking up an EXIGE painted OEM looking perfect. It's gonna look so good. EXIGE Starlight Black front end, the hinge covers and the access panels. I actually painted the center console the same color as the car too. That might be for sale. I did some other bits that you guys saw. So it'll be a really good looking car. I think it'll look better than what it looked like when it came from factory. But I still need to do some stuff on the inside. That's it. Make sure to like, subscribe, and I'll see you on the next video.